This excerpt covers the topic of electrical precautions from the NFPA 70E electrical safety training class presented by Howard Herndon. Howard has over 40 years of experience in the electrical field, covering field experience, equipment services, power studies, and engineering. Howard's class lays out the safety requirements for electrical workers in a practical manner that is applicable to the veteran electrical worker as well as the new electrical trainee. The training class can also be adapted to fit your facility or team needs. If you would like more information or would like to schedule electrical safety training for your team or facility, please contact us at 725-214-6004.
Okay, let's talk about some precautions of personal activities while working around energized equipment. What are some of those precautions? Alertness, impairedness, or change of scope. And these are all covered in 130.6. What is alertness and impairedness? Okay, not paying attention is a good one. What is impaired? Yeah, I came to work drunk. I tied one on last night and I still got up at 6 o'clock on an hour's sleep and went to work. Are you impaired? Yes. There's no question that you're impaired. I stayed up at the hospital because I had my kid in the emergency room. Are you impaired? Yep. Should you be doing energized work? Nope. You know what the key thing is, guys? You got to be man enough to talk about it and admit, I really shouldn't be doing this. Is there someone else, boss, you can put in for me? I'll be glad to back somebody up, but I shouldn't be the key guy in there. Because what do we do as men? Just get it handled. We'll just get it done. Yeah. I caused the problem, I'll take care of the problem.
There's some people working on the stadium that are pulling like 7, 12 shifts. How is that not impaired? Yeah, the electricians said that.
I'll agree with you. Yeah. And just like I was talking about driving home from St. Rose at 2 or 3 in the morning and not knowing how I got onto the 95 freeway, was I impaired? Hell yeah. Did I recognize I was impaired until I got on the 95 and said, how'd I get here? No. Sometimes we have to remind others that we work with in a very kind manner that, why don't I take over this today? You sound like you're pretty stressed out type thing, Blind reach. What is a blind reach?
Not seeing what you're doing.
Okay. I've had panel covers off before where maybe we took a panel covers off, I took my hood off, we're just doing visual inspection, and I see something down at the bottom of the gutter, and I stick my hand in there and I say, oh shit. My hand was only about that far from the bus. Yeah, that's blind reach. So we have to watch for that blind reach issue. Illumination, make sure we have enough light. With all the concepts of light that we have today, with the headlights that we can put on our helmets, the magnetic lights, all that kind of stuff, there's all the portable Milwaukee M18 lights, there should be no reason not to have illumination. Articles being worn, what are we talking about? Jewelry. Yeah, whether it's a bracelet or a watch or a ring, we don't want to be sticking our hands in stuff that we shouldn't be. Make sure that we've got those taken off before we're even working around energized equipment. Conductive tools and equipment, we want to make sure that we're using insulated tools within our boundaries. We talked about it earlier, confined spaces. Make sure that we're doing all the right things in confined spaces, such as vaults. Watch doors and hinge panels. There's nothing worse than working on something and a little gust of wind pick up a door and jam our hands into something that shouldn't be, or a door slam on us. Watch for those clear spaces around equipment. Metal frame glasses. Watch metal frame glasses. That looks like it hurts to me. Having a burnt area all around where your glasses are. Other precautions, housekeeping activities, flammable materials. We don't store paint thinner, all that stuff in the electric room. We don't want that around. Anticipating failure. What are we talking about there? We talked about it earlier and we called it the what ifs. What if this happened, or what if that happened? Where am I going to go? Where am I going to have? What am I going to have over my eyes and my hands? How am I going to get out of this situation? We talked about reclosing circuits after opening. I don't want to be adjusting those breakers. I want to find out why it tripped. All we're going to do when we turn the circuit on and let it trip, and turn it on and let it trip, and turn it on and let it trip, is blow a bigger hole in something. But people do it all the time.
I've seen it. We're replacing fuses. Oh, I blew another fuse. Put another one in there. No, stop.
Let's put a meter on it and find out what's going on. Phase to ground. Oh, it's grounded. No wonder the fuse is blowing.
Yeah.
Make sure we don't defeat safety interlocks. Workspace, anticipating failure. What if you opened a panel cover and saw this? What would you think? If you need to come up and look at it a little closer, do. There's a very large hotel casino on the strip that we opened the cover for to do an infrared. And this is what we found. This aluminum bus has this nice rounded corners with these little drip marks on them. And then this one's got this totally rounded thing on it. And then we got some aluminum, melted aluminum here. And these nice beautiful cables have this smoke color on them, no matter what color they were. You have to anticipate that something like that's going to happen when you pull the cover off. It didn't happen pulling the cover off. Another contractor caused this problem, cleaned the cover off and put it back on and didn't tell anybody. And guess who's going to find it? You guys are. And it's like, oh shit, what do I do now? Well, you document it and you put the cover back on and you come up with a plan to fix it. Because this is really beyond cleanable. Because aluminum melts at about 1250 degrees. So you can see that that's got droplets on it. So you know it's been melting. So there was an arc flash in here that was contained within the enclosure that was above 1250 degrees. So can you imagine what the insulation on those cables are like? Yeah, you move them, you're probably gonna, chunks of them are gonna fall off. So anticipating failure, the what ifs, we've talked about it a dozen times today. This is an interesting one. This circuit breaker here, this is like sheetrock sand is all piled up on it. It's about a 1960 version circuit breaker. It was tested in the late 90s. It has a testing sticker on it. You can't see it in this picture because of the TV. But would I want to trust that to open? Probably not. Because if it looks like this on the inside, can you imagine what that sheetrock does to the grease on the inside if it looks like this on the outside?